Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. We can have a little conversation about overthinking, killing the overthinking vibe, getting your flow face on. Callista, hello, getting your flow face on? What does that even mean? Now, I'm wearing my Not a Niche Beige shirt, which is one of my branded shirts. And it's one of the gifts that you get when you join the Play Life Rule Breaker Society with an upfront option, which you can do payment plan or upfront. And the upfront is, the whole thing is just such an awesome, hell yes, no-brainer offer for a brand new live 6-week little course. Not that little for 6 weeks, but I'll talk more about that in a moment. Let's have a conversation. Let's get into the flow. Let's talk about when you're operating from a place of seeking to move things forward in your business, in your money, in your life, and you thinking your way into just a sad and sorry state of affairs with a boring little business and a boring little life that nobody wants to know about. Now, this is all too common. I had a great conversation about this today with a client. I've had a great conversation along those lines with clients hundreds of times over the years, way too many times to count or to remember. So that is how I know it is a relevant thing. And it's a cyclical thing for entrepreneurs as well. The bit where you forget about your magnetism, you forget about your flow, you forget about who you really are, and you start trying to think your way to the next level or the next breakthrough or the next project or just the continual elevation of money, clients, business systems, whatever it is that you think you need. And next minute, you completely lost the vibe. You start to wonder if you never even had it. And it starts to feel like it's impossible to regain. So we're going to talk today about recapturing the vibe, the essence, the mother freaking frequency of you being you. And of course, as part of that, listen to my croaky voice. I did talk for 11 straight hours yesterday. I ran my event yesterday, my live in-person mastermind here, the Wealth Anointing Live, and it was amazing. And it went for 11 hours because I went like 4 hours overtime standard. So that's why my voice is a little bit croaky. But let's talk about recapturing the vibe and the essence of you being you. Here's the thing. Online business. Rachel, hello. Can you even believe I'm talking? I literally woke up this morning with no voice, you guys. No voice after yesterday. I don't even know what happened. God brought it back to me, I suppose. But that's why it's a little husky. A little bit extra sexy on the voice side of things today after a massive event day yesterday. I want to talk to you about online business for a minute. I've been doing online business in some format for 17 plus years. I didn't come on the internet to try and build a business online. I have built some might say wildly successful coaching business over the past 17 or so years. A lot of money has been made. Lots of it, plenty of it. A lot of incredible entrepreneurs who have become my clients and have had a lot of fun along the way. A lot of travel, events, hundreds of courses that I've created. You name it. Do you know what I always just keep coming back to? Again and again and again and again and again. When I'm trying to build a business, when I'm thinking about how to build a business, I need to get my nails redone, don't I? Why is it that you get your nails done and then one of them straight away peels straight halfway off? What I keep coming back to for myself, honestly, is every time I'm thinking about how to build a business or like build my current business, because it is a business, but take it to the next level. Every time I start going into thinking about what I want to put in place or what I think I should be put in place or, oh, okay, let's go to a next level of grown up proper strategy, systems, processes, you name it. Firstly, the reality is, and this might not be true for all entrepreneurs because I think there's entrepreneurs out there, I mean, I know some of them, they're my friends and people I know on the internet who genuinely want to think their way into the intricacies of their marketing, their messaging, their sales, their launching and whatnot. But the reality for me, for my clients, and for those who resonate with my way of doing business and life, which is essentially follow what's inside of you, screw the rules of anything that didn't come through and like from within, from the right place inside of you, and no, you don't have to fit the formula. And not only do you not have to, but if you try to, then it just doesn't work, yeah? The reality for us, so let's say creative entrepreneurs, those who by nature are a bit spontaneous, a bit edgy, a bit random, you like things to be mixed up a little bit, you get bored even if you're sitting in the same location all the time, even if it's a very vibey location. My office here is a very vibey location. I get bored if I start coming in here too regularly. I get bored if I sit in the same coffee shop too regularly. I would get bored if I was selling the same program week in and week out, like year in and year out, even if it was the best, most transformative program in the world. I get bored, and my clients are the same. Anytime I start telling myself that the way to go to the next level in business is that I need to take like this thing that's working or this thing that should be working and just, I don't know, fine tune the details, the strategy, the system, and put something in place so that it just robotically sells week in and week out. I mean, it doesn't sound awful, doesn't it? Does it? Who would not want something systematically selling week in and week out? That doesn't mean that you need to do your business, your money flow, your life, your way of creating and showing up through a lens that the vast majority of your niche maybe, or the online industry or whatever it might be, is saying is the way to get to a place of financial stability, certainty, overflow, what have you. Can I just tell you something right now? The stability and certainty and overflow and continual like safety, etc., being taken care of in your business financially and otherwise, like the continual stream of clients, the continual stream of enough money coming in, more than enough to be able to invest, so give, share, buy cool things as well that you know, get to enjoy in your life. Your sense of safety and stability and certainty around money and around where your business is going is not meant to be based on, listen to me, oh my gosh, please listen, because do you know how many times I have had to smack myself over the head with this same lesson? And I'm talking as someone who's been doing online business for 17 plus years, who's mentored just the most amazing, best of the best revolutionary leaders and entrepreneurs in the space for years now, and who has also produced tens of millions of dollars in her business. I still have to slap myself upside the head about this sometimes, which is that your sense of stability and certainty and things working is not dependent, listen, on you doing stuff that you don't want to do in a way that doesn't suit you, that feels like pushing an endless wheelbarrow full of dog poop up a hill whilst simultaneously scratching your own eyeballs out with chopsticks. If it feels that way, even the idea of it, I promise you, not arbitrarily, but based on years of experience and years of mentoring and watching people become purpose-driven millionaires and multimillionaires and truly just show up for their destiny work, I promise you that the way for you to get to stability, certainty, and continual growth in your business and in your income and in your, flow of ideal soulmate clients is not you conforming, capitulating, settling yourself into a way of doing anything that feels like it's external to you being you. I want you to think right now about what are you doing, what are you giving time or energy or attention to? Or what are you telling yourself you should be giving time, energy, or attention to in your business? That, if you're honest about it, would go under the header of being external to you being you. Do you get what I'm saying? Does it make sense? Am I talking to myself? So I'm running the Play Life Rule Breaker Society, and we're going to start next week, probably at the start of the week, maybe a day or two in. We'll see what we think. We'll definitely lead in at the start of the week. I had this down, like, when you're just sitting there journaling and you're visioning on something. I was like writing out my own next level, like big picture vision of, it wasn't even that connected to this business actually. I was thinking more about my books and stuff like that. And I was just going into the vision. The best ideas that you have that your most ideal clients are going to respond to and that are also going to be an absolute flow for you to bring to life in the world, they're oftentimes the ones that hit you out of nowhere. Now, sometimes I think something wonderful can come through when you literally sat your butt down in the chair and you're like, what is something wonderful that wants to come through? Sometimes that happens. But the reality is that the greatest flow, like the most magnetic flow of you being you, the stuff that your ideal clients and people will just go, whoa, like, yes, what is that? That's cool, that's fascinating, it's interesting, it's magnetic. The reality is that that version of you will typically come through when you're not thinking about how to think or what to do or what to say, and you're just owning the room because you have no choice, or you decided that you have no choice. Now, let me give you an example. Yesterday, I ran an amazing live event here, a small mastermind type event here at my warehouse, the Wealth Anointing Live. That's an example of something where it's a booked event. People had flown in not just from around the country, but actually from other countries as well, in one case. And obviously, I don't have a choice about whether or not I'm going to show up. I mean, I suppose if an emergency happened, you have to cancel your live event or something, God forbid. But that kind of thing is an example in business of something where if your own insecurities, fears, or doubts are coming up in the morning, or you suddenly just decided that you didn't feel like it, too bad, because people are going to be there in person and you need to show up and you need to just put aside your own emotions, your own mind, your own ideas of whether or not you're good enough or you know how to talk or anything like that. You just need to be able to put it aside, and you're just going to have to show up and run the room like you own it. And that's something that's inside of you that is, the essence of you being you, your magnetism, your flow, your knowledge, your experience, your expertise, your wisdom, the value that you have to share, but also your incredible personality, charisma, etc. It's going to come through because there's kind of no choice. Do you hear what I'm saying? So in that sort of scenario, if you do business anything like me and like my clients and like those who are joining me in the Play Life Rule Breaker Society, check it out in the comments. My all new and all live 6-week course, the Play Life Rule Breaker Society, has arrived. Let's tear it all down and build something actually fun, from boring and blur to can't take my eyes off her in just 6 weeks. That's what this course is about. This is for my entrepreneurs, my leaders, my waymakers, my revolutionaries who are highly creative entrepreneurs who need it to be vibing for them, first and foremost. That's just honesty, right? There's no point pretending otherwise, and it doesn't make you selfish because it's actually where your best work comes through that is a gift to others. So we're going to really talk about how to let it all go, come back to the fact that business is meant to be fun and easy. This is a fact. It's not a fantasy. It's how it should be. And if it's not feeling that way, I guarantee you are attending to or thinking you should be attending to stuff that is truly not your genius zone. And it's not where your focus should be, and it's not where your lens should be, like it's not the lens you should be looking through. So the Play Life Rule Breaker Society. Details in the comment. Anyway, how I do business, how pretty much anyone I mentor does business is, let's say you're running a one-day event, or let's say you're doing a call with clients or a training in one of your programs or groups. You will have some idea of the structure, the outline, the details and whatnot. You're very unlikely, if you're one of my ideal clients, friends, etc., to be someone who would run a one-day event on a dot point slide presentation. Yeah? Possibly you'd have a few slides. Most people I know not even doing the slide thing. It's just an example. I'm not finitely against slides. Why? Because you'd have some kind of a structure and a knowledge and awareness of what you're going to bring through, and then there would be a massive amount of leeway allowed for what? Flow. The message to come through, little tangents, spirit-led downloads and innovations, and also, let's be honest, the bits where you're just being freaking funny and charismatic and interesting and random because it's who you are. And unless you're trying to present like a robot or run your coaching or your event or whatever it might be as a robotpreneur, is anyone here trying to do that? I recommend no. Unless you're trying to be a robot because somehow you got it into your head that if you're not on a script and perfect, then nobody's going to listen, when the opposite is true. Unless you're trying to be a robotpreneur, then you will go off script, even if you had a script, but you probably don't have a script. Or you'll get carried away with a story, or a download will come through, you'll have an idea, or you'll just start telling jokes because, let's be honest, you're pretty funny. Am I right? I'm pretty sure I'm right. What I'm not sure about is whether or not the internet knows this. Somebody tried to call me just then. I don't even know how that happened. My do not disturb was on. How did a phone call even come through? What I was saying is I'm not sure. I am sure that you're personable, funny, charismatic, interesting, that you're capable of not only holding but helming, leading a flow-led conversation or entire training day for 11 straight hours, and that you could probably do so with minimal to zero preparation, and that it would not only be amazing, but it would be gold, fire, flow, and exactly what your people need. I'm pretty certain that that's who you are, and that if you were put in a position, is the point I'm trying to make, where you had no choice because it's a live event or it's a one-on-one coaching call or it's a training that's already booked, Whether or not you feel like it beforehand, once you take the flow will come through. Am I right? Yes, you might have some nerves, uncertainty, doubt. Maybe you forget something important that you were going to teach on. No problem. Make people an audio afterwards, whatever, right? But the reality is that if you had no choice but to own the room, or if you're put in any sort of situation like any of your one-to-one current client conversations or anything that's just kind of already a done deal behind the scenes, you will share absolute magnetic fire and flow. And I'm willing to bet that a lot of the time, people who get quite close to you, whether it's private clients or just people that get into like a closed room environment with you, will say things to you like, oh, I had no idea you were this, whatever. And one of my clients was saying this to me earlier this morning. I've had people say that to me a million times. I've heard this from my clients a million times. Why is it that my private clients or the people that are closest to me, they really understand, you know, the power, the fire, the magnetism, etc. of who I am. And I just feel like other people aren't getting it or it's not coming across. Let me tell you why. You're trying so hard to be perfect or to be good enough or to grow your business or to be diligent or do a good job or any of these things. And it can come from an earnestness and a true like well-intention to be doing a really great job and be of high service, but it can also come from triggers and insecurity. It's often both. But there's this trying to do enough and to be perfect. And it's so brittle making is the reality that what happens is, sadly, tragically, honestly, the vibe, the essence, the power, the magnetism of you being you, we're just not seeing it. We're not seeing it, babe. And I've been this person so many times where I'll be aware that what I'm bringing to the forefront, even as someone experienced in business for as long as I have been, which is coming up 2 decades online, and it's prior to that offline as well. I got a good light here, you guys. Even with all of that experience, and even though I've been the mentor for the true 1% within the 1% purpose-driven women entrepreneurs around the world for so many years now, I will still cyclically go through those periods, particularly if it's something that I'm not sure of myself in, like something new maybe that I'm seeking to next level on, or if things have just gone a bit haywire and then I'm like, what's happening? I feel derailed. I need to get things back on track. Or even when it's just a big desire to hit a big goal and it all kind of came from the right place in the first place, let's assume. And then it's kind of this thinking and this, you know, perfectionism or A-type personality type thing, or just fears and insecurities and doubts that got a little bit of a hold again that really should have been kicked out of the room on the behind. And next minute what's happening is, instead of us feeling you and just the vibe, the flow, the frequency, the magnetism, the, you know, charismatic, interesting human that you are, that your clients see or people see behind closed doors, or your nearest and dearest, your squad, your crew, your besties, they get to see it instead of us seeing it and feeling it. What's happening? We've got another entrepreneur who's trying to demonstrate to the world that they know things, that they have value to share, and put it on a nice little branded Instagram template, and then surely the world will want to see it. Well, no, I know from personal experience that the more you're trying to move things forward, firstly, it's not fun for you. Secondly, some of your ideal people will get through, which is just grace, I think, honestly. And maybe you accidentally blurt out some real bits of who you are from time to time enough that people feel it. But all in all, this is a slow way to do business. I've done it both ways. I've done it just about every which way there is to do it. I'm telling you that if you want a supernatural response in your business, if you want to see supernatural growth in your business, you're really going to need to not be trying to take natural actions or so-called obvious or like the way it should be type actions in order to grow that business. Does that make sense? Yesterday, our theme was an unnatural response. What would be an unnatural response to what's going on in your business, your money, your life, or whatever now? Like when things are, when you're wanting things to grow or flow to the next level, or when things are not where you want them to be or think that you should be, then there's a so-called natural response. And in marketing and in business, that oftentimes means, oh, I need to like hunker down and get serious and get organized and make a strategy and make a plan. And then I should be doing all these different things for engagement and growth and whatnot. And just hear me, the reality for women like us, where we have a fire and a flow and we've got that stuff that you can't funnel hack that stuff, right? It's something that's untouchable, it's untangible, it's intangible. You can't put your finger on it, can't be fully figured out because it's not meant to be, because it is the essence of you. It's the essence of you, gorgeous. It's not meant to be able to be confined in a box. You know who you are. You're not here to build a pretty little business in a pretty little box and put a pretty little bow on it and make sure it has pretty little branding colors exactly the same way and templates exactly the same way as the rest of the internet. And there's nothing bad or wrong with any of that stuff. And have you I got pretty templates in Canva as well, right? I actually think they're really cool. They're my vibe. You get the point. All of that stuff needs to be secondary. It has to be secondary. And I honestly find it mind-blowing after all my years doing this stuff that I will still default back to an idea of, oh, well, maybe I should be a bit more this or a bit more that. And I'll start thinking. And I see it in my clients all the time. Okay, I just need to get this thing in place. I just need to improve in this area. I just need to polish up that area. No, you don't. Because you know what? If that thing over there is meant to be polished or prettied up or whatever it might be, or even put into some kind of process or strategy or system or formula, guess how that will happen? It will happen as a flow on to the fact that you show up and just be you. It will happen as a flow on to you letting the world feel and see you. In the same way that if you had to walk in here or into your own space and do a whole day with an incredible group of your ideal clients, with or without a structure, you would bring through stuff that you didn't even know that you knew to say. And you would also bring personality, charisma, humor, randomness, silliness. You would be the incredible human you are, yeah? And people would get the true vibe of who you are. And that's no doubt, as I was saying, what you do behind the scenes. You're no doubt doing that behind the scenes all the time with your private clients and in your closed room environments. But are you letting all of that random, messy, interesting, fun, funny, raw, edgy, whatever it might be, mixed through with the, depth and profound bits and the value that's kind of like obvious, I guess? Are you letting all of that come through in your marketing? Do you know how you need to do it? You need to realize that the next level of getting on, I'm going to read this right off my little sales call to action that's in the comments here. This is for the Play Life Rule Breaker Society, the Play Life # Rule Breaker Society. Let's tear it all down and build something actually fun, from boring and blah to can't take my eyes off her in just 6 weeks. So this is my new course for entrepreneurs, leaders, mavericks, wave makers. This is so freaking fire because this is one of my favorite things to do. I do it about once a year where I'll do a brand new course. So this is the new course. It just came through. I didn't even know I was going to do it. I got it last week. And basically we're going to just tear everything up. Doesn't mean like burn it, get rid of it. Necessarily, depends what's needed, and really get back to the raw, the edgy, the vibe of you just being you, where it's like, oh, I'm not here to try and think my way into business growth. You are not here to try and think your way into money growth. You're not here to try and figure out why the right people aren't fully seeing and buying. You are here to let something raw, something creative, something vibing with like a frequency that only you could bring, and the right people will respond to it. Because the next level, the getting back on track and blowing things up phase of your business and your money and your life, it is not on the other side of the fact that you became more studious, more boring, more thinky, and considered your way into some kind of flatlined, horrible situation. That's not how you get to the flow bit. The business that you should be rocking with the people who should be just naturally, automatically respond to it, and to where everything that you're doing feels like such a vibe and it's just such a yes within you, is on the other side. This place where money rolls in, the right people roll in, everyone's having a great old time. It is on the other side of where you stop thinking about what to do and you just start showing the vibe of you being you. And this might sound too flaky, too all over the place for some people. Well, those are not our people. That's not you though. So stop trying to figure out your own growth by putting yourself through a lens, like a filter, a container of but straight up boring marketers would have to do because they don't have a backbone of creativity in their body. And I'm not saying that in a mocky way, it might sound like it, but it's just that people are different. And there's some people who need to market in a very straight up join the dots way. And the people who are meant to do that, they actually love it. They flow with that. That is a form of flow for them. and they want to figure out every little intricacy and then adjust the conversion by 0.01%. And that's awesome if that's who you are. But if that's not who you are, why are you continuing to butt your head against a wall? That's just not your wall. You're trying to get through a wall when there's a big open expanse right here, which is the place where you turn and you go, no, you know what? Stuff it. I'm going to stop caring so much about how do I do this next thing? How do I get it working? Is this going to work? Is this right? Is this right? What if I added this? What? I'm just going to put it all aside, and I'm going to just start showing up from a place of, this is what I truly believe that you need to hear today. This is what I want to talk about today. This is the mess that I made. This is the raw, edgy thing that I got going on over here. This is what I'm into. Oh, here's the funny joke I just thought of. Oh, meanwhile, depth, purpose, passion, flow, it comes through when you're being you. Otherwise, you're just kind of faking it, like you're counterfeiting it, because you're not really giving yourself permission to be and to breathe. So even though you might knowledgeably talk about these different things and pass on some little nugget of something, it's not the same as you are so here and so obviously here, meaning in your online business, on your platforms, whatever you're doing, because you want to be, you're vibing to be. It's just where you need to be. It's where you're called to be. And you're genuinely sharing, messaging, writing, storing, videoing, creating your offers even from a place of, you know what would be cool? Do you know what would be cool? So. I actually wrote up 11 journal prompts today. And if you want them, just drop a comment below. Like if you're on replay or you're here now, just drop a comment that says journal prompts, or you could say give me, or you could say yes please, or anything like that, and I'll DM them to you later. I'm just waiting for my for Kelly on my team to put them into a nice PDF. But I whipped up 11 journal prompts later that are designed to instantly annihilate the cobwebby vibes in your business. I'm going to give you this for free, by the way, and stop you from trying to think your way to the next level. And they're going to result in you exploding back into the magnetism of being you. I wrote these journal prompts out for one of my paid groups. There's 11 of them. They're designed to reach in and tear out the stupid overthinking bits and get you back into the lit up magnetic vibe. So if you want the journal prompts, just put journal prompts or yes please or something in the comments and I'll DM them to you later. So I've got that for you. And they're a game changer. Those journal prompts, they are so good. They're just going to activate you and just bring you back to truth, magnetism, etc. And I did also write them up as a bit of like segue and a lead into the fact that right now I am promoting the Play Life Rule Breaker Society. The Play Life Rule Breaker Society. Hang on. Sam, can you just message Jake on Instagram and just say, I just realized the time. I'm so sorry. I'll be there in about 5 to 7 minutes. I'm meant to be somewhere right now. It's literally around the corner. So I'll just finish up with you right now. But the Play Life Rule Breaker Society is my brand new offer. It is a 6-week all new live course. I didn't even know I was creating a new 6-week course specific for entrepreneurs, leaders, mavericks, game changers. I was in my own visioning and my own journaling, and next minute, boom, the flow freaking came through me and it took over. This is exactly how I love to show up, from that place of, oh, this is what it's about. You know what? You've been being boring, blah, meh, whatever you want to call it, and mainly to yourself first and foremost, and it's time to just tear stuff up and get back to the basics of being you, and the fact that first and foremost, it's about the art, the creativity, the spontaneity that is not flaky. It's not being irresponsible as a business owner. I've mentored the best entrepreneurs for years now, and the ones that have made those $1 million and multi-million-dollar businesses, which is hundreds of them, it's been when they followed who they really are and they stopped caring so much about, is this right, is this working? So that's what the Play Life Rule Breaker Society is about. We're going to tear it all up and build something that is actually fun for you, where it's like, oh, this is what I want to be doing. This is who I really am. This is the message that I have to share. Yes, this is what I genuinely like. This is what I want to get my teeth into. And yes, it's going to help you in this way. So here's the way that I want to help you. I want to help you to understand the ins and outs of a true business, not a little hobby business, but $1 million, multi-million-dollar, and multi-8-figure and beyond business, because that's the kind of business that my clients build and have been building for years. But it's done on your terms, and it's done by bringing all of the vibe and magnetism and frequency of you being you. The random bits, the good bits, the messy bits, the crazy bits, just all of the bits of your humanness, and understanding that when you lean into that and follow that the way is revealed. So it's not that there shouldn't be any sort of structures, systems around your launching, your marketing, your automated income. I have these things, My clients have these things. We're not sitting around without money coming in while we're sleeping and stuff. That's just normal and how it should be. So you're not wrong about any of that. But the way that it happens for us, for creative entrepreneurs who know that it has to be about purpose, destiny, and being who we really are, is not by trying to put ourselves into a box of being a straight up internet marketer. It's got to stop. You have got to stop looking around going, how do I get to that next level? Think. And you're so just frustrated, bored, or it's just like wrong. It feels wrong. So we need to tear it off, and we're going to go from being boring and blah and just like over yourself and wondering what you're even doing to back to being that person who is naturally automatically lit up in her own fire, magnetic, can't keep my eyes off her, and the right soulmate clients are just showing up, buying on repeat. This is one of those hell yes, no-brainer offers that I roll around with about once in a year. When you see the price point for the entire 6 weeks with me, and it's a live course and it's an all new course, so we're going to start next week, your jaw is going to hit the floor. And I'm going to be honest with you, I put a thing on the weekend where I said I'm going to put the price up on Tuesday. I'm not going to put the price up on Tuesday. Honestly, that was a case of me overthinking. I was like, oh, that's a good vibe. I don't even care. The price is what the price is. So I'll take that off the page. It's a crazy awesome price. There's a couple of premium spots left. So go check it out at thekatrinaruthshow.com/play life society. Boom. And I'll see you on the inside. Don't forget, life is now. Press play.